Yo, it's Coach Ed. Got the insights, no boats. From the rookies in the youth leagues to the seasoned pros. Ladies ballin', fellas fighting all around the globe. Breaking it down dynamic. You know, tune in, listen up. Don't wanna miss the flow. It's Coach Ed's Read and Attack the Sports Show. From the courts to the field, he's got the stats. Dropping knowledge is where the real fans at. So stand up, get ready for the play. Wave your arms in the air, let's hear you say. Coach Ed, our mentor on the mic. Breaking down the game, every highlight. Analyzing plays, court the turf the like. Youth leagues, college dreams, pro spotlight. Tackling the facts, defense or attack. He's got the vision, shows you where it's at. We grab the scoop, no stone left unturned. In Coach Ed's realm, the knowledge earned.
Peace and blessings, everyone. It's me, it's Coach Ed, and I'm here today with another episode of the Coach Ed's Read and Attack Sports Show Live. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate you all being here, supporting me, rocking with me, as always. So, again, thank you, everyone. You guys have been fabulous during this journey. This is episode 21. It's a great venture, and I appreciate you all. So if you're new to the job, first of all, thank you to the Hardcore Sports Network and the Big Blue Crew Sports Network for always supporting me, allowing me the opportunity to stream on two networks. So it's a great opportunity, and it's a privilege, and it's a pleasure, and I really appreciate you guys for being here and supporting me through everything. So, also, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you hit the like button on all the networks, as well as Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports. Make sure you also subscribe and hit the notification, so this way you know when new content is posted. Not just by me, by everyone through both networks, man. Everyone is out there grinding and putting out some great content for you. So always make sure you subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us out grow immensely. Sharing all your social media platforms so we can get everything out into the algorithms and grow. And also comment. Make sure you get into the chat and comment. Let us know that you're there and let us know what you're thinking. But that also helps grow everything because it's an interactive approach. So let me jump into the chat. Thank you, Deception. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for always being here. Greg, thank you for being here, bro. I really appreciate you. So got a few things that I'm going to go ahead and talk about today. Really appreciate a very busy sports weekend. So let's get right into it. First thing I want to talk about is what I'm always talking about, the WNBA. Getting down to the wire, the last few games during the season. Playoff positioning is being fought for. 7 teams are already in, but you have 3 teams fighting for one spot. So definitely going to go over that. Yesterday, you had some games that were played, and we're going to go over some of those. You even had the top 2 teams in the league going at it. So definitely want to touch on that too, as well as some of the other games. So, but let's go ahead and look at the standings right now as it stands. All right. So out of the 12 teams that are here, 2 teams are already eliminated at the bottom. The Dallas Wings and the Los Angeles Sparks, they're already out. But you also have the next 3 teams fighting for the A spot, and they're all 13-25. Atlanta just beat the Washington Mystics yesterday. So there's going to be a head-to-head somewhere along the line there. But again, these 3 teams facing each other. I think Chicago face Atlanta. I believe it's Atlanta. So, this is where things are going to start to get dicey. The 7 teams ahead of them have already secured their spots. Phoenix Mercury at 7, Indiana Fever at 6, I do think Indiana is going to end up in the sixth spot, and Phoenix is going to end up in the seventh spot. I think that's pretty set there. Almost. It's I say it's about 95% set. Um, Seattle and the Aces are battling for the 4 and the 5 spots. That's ultimately to see who hosts that game. Now, one of them can still catch Connecticut technically. I believe it's the Aces. The Aces just played Connecticut yesterday. I'll go over that. And then you have Minnesota and New York for the top 2 spots. They also just played yesterday, so I'll also go over that. So, but that's the standings, and then the playoff positioning. Still going to go down to the wire in terms of the playoff positioning. Nothing is secured, so I don't want to sit here and say, this is the final. Oops, let me remove that banner. I do apologize. Here we go. This is not the final aspect of it. In terms of the standings, it can change. It can definitely change. So Minnesota can catch New York. And I believe Las Vegas can catch Connecticut. So ultimately, there's still games to be played. New York, I think, has 3 games left. Minnesota, I think, has 3. Indiana, I think, has 2, if I'm not mistaken, because they play 40 games. I think Indiana has 1 game. If they're 20-19, that leaves them with 1 game left for the season. So New York is at 31-7, so that's 38. So they have 2 games left, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they have 2 games. They have Washington. They're at Washington, and then they host Atlanta. So it's 2 games left. So everyone is down to 2 games. New York needs 1 game to secure the final spot. So it's close for New York. They just have to win 1 game. So as you see, these teams are really starting to finalize their positioning. Let's see, 70, 38. Connecticut has 2 games. Las Vegas has 2 games. Yeah, everyone is pretty much 2 games, except for the Fever. The Fever have 1 game left. So that's why I think that they will secure. Yeah, they're going to secure the 6th spot. So if they win right now, they'll be 2 games up over Phoenix, and Phoenix, they can win 2 games. But I think Indiana has 1 in Phoenix also. So I think they have the head-to-head. So, but again, New York, 1 win, and they'll have the number 1 spot. But if they lose both and Minnesota wins their last 2, then Minnesota will have the number 1 spot overall. So, technically, Minnesota has a chance. But if New York wins 1, then they'll have the number 1 seed overall. So, that's that's the breakdown in terms of the current league standings, and then the playoff positioning. It's really getting down there. I mean, and it's something that I love and I appreciate. When I sit here and I think about the WNBA. So, hey, playoff basketball, man. That's where it's at, and then W is going to take a lot. When you think about the matchups, the possible matchups, and how things break down, it's going to be intense. It definitely is. Even in 1 versus 8, it's not an easy cakewalk. I mean, this is professional basketball, so things can change in a heartbeat. So the next thing I want to talk about is the scores from yesterday. So let me go ahead and bring that up for you guys so we can dive into yesterday's scores. And scores from yesterday. And here we are. Let me get caught up with the chat. I got a new Daniel Berry. What's up, man? Thanks for being here and tapping in. I really appreciate you. So, but yesterday, you had the Fever. Fever were down for the most part of that game, but they fought back late in the game. in the second half to end up taking the win over the Dallas Wings. So it was an exciting game. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Something that is great. You had the Lynx and the Liberty, the number one and the number two teams, and the Lynx dominated this game. They were up as much as 26 points at one point over the Liberty. The Liberty did cut it down into single digits, but the Lynx ended up extending it and ended up winning by 9 points. So this is where I also mentioned in terms of Minnesota getting the number one overall seed, because on the season series, regular season, they won 2 games to 1. They also won the Commissioner's Cup. So they beat the Liberty 3 games out of the 4 games they played this year. And they are the Liberty's kryptonite. They are a deep team. They're very versatile, well-rounded. They play. They have great ball movement. They play great team defense. They're very physical when they play defense, and that is where what hurts the Liberty at times. Teams that are physical. Yesterday, the one win that the Liberty had over the Lynx, the Liberty got center Jonquel Jones into the game, and she scored 21 points. But yesterday, on the other losses, she scored in single digits, and she had, I believe, 9 points yesterday. So New York has to do a better job of trying to get her the basketball to force the Lynx to change their defensive philosophy, because they can't handle her, down low. So that's an important aspect that the Liberty are going to have to get into. So what's up, Drew? Appreciate you tapping in, man. Thanks a lot, man. Yes, Gregor. I mean, she has brought eyes. If we're just being honest, her fans want to see her. They want to see her play. They are intrigued by her. So yes, she has brought more eyes to the game. And there are those who are watching who have seen the type of basketball that the WNBA plays. So they're not just sitting saying, "Oh, it's all about Caitlin Clark." I mean, the debate about Angel Reese as far as rookie of the year, you're starting to see the different players in the league, and you're starting to appreciate the game. Some people, there are those who, oh no, they're just not into it. Fine. But yes, she has brought more eyes to the game. Her, Angel Reese, a lot of these members in this rookie class have done it. It's not just her alone, but yes, her for a large part. So you also had in games yesterday, the Dream beat the Mystics. So that ended up creating the three-way tie. And then you had the Mercury over the Sky because the Sky were in the ace spot for a minute. You had the Aces over the Sun. So that's the number 3 team and the number 4 team. So it was a tough battle there. And then you had the Storm in the end, get by the Sparks by 3. So those are the games that were played yesterday. Like I said, you had the top 2 teams, and then the number 3 and the number 4 team. I'm sorry, the number 4 and the number 5 team. No, 5. Yes, Aces it's Liberty. Yeah, I'm sorry, the Sun. So it was the number 3 and the number 4 team playing each other, man. So and like I said, it's intense basketball getting down to the wire, here. So pretty exciting time for me, as a WNBA fan. I love seeing it. I love what the games bring, and I'm hoping to see my Liberty make it to to the championship round. So next thing I want to talk about is Miss Aja Wilson. Yesterday, she was the first WNBA player ever to score 1,000 points in a single season. And if you think about this is going back to 1997. When you think about Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, I mean, the list goes on and on. Maya Moore, Simone Augusta. I mean, you could sit here and really, Tina Thompson. I mean, I'm sitting here, Candace Parker, I mean, no one has ever scored 1,000 points before, and as I said, she became the first player in WNBA history to score 1,000 points for a season, and that's impressive, man. Like I said, when you break down the history of this league and the talent that has been here time and time again, for her to come away, to be the first one to score 1,000 points, that speaks volumes to the type of talent that type of player that she is, the talent that she brings to the floor, the competitor, that she is. Um, Definitely have to commend her for being able to do that. The expansion of the game to getting more women into the game to play. Kudos to her, and it's just going to help the sport grow even more and more every year. So definitely appreciate that, and I wanted to take a minute to congratulate her. In reference to that. So Caitlin Clark also scored 35 to set the rookie mark yesterday in her win. She's surpassed Simone Augustus as the first player. I think she said, oh, there it is, to set the rookie scoring record, in the game. That was previously held by Simone Augustus. And it speaks to the impact that she has to the game itself also. And this is why a lot of fans want to come out and they want to see her. Indiana is also a hot team. They were also, I believe, her and Kelsey Mitchell were the first to ever score 35 and 5 assists in a game at the same time. So she continues to take this game and grow this game, and it's going to also continue to draw interest, and more people are going to grow to appreciate the women's game in terms of what she brings to the table with the WNBA. So definitely appreciate Caitlin Clark for what she brings to the table in terms of the WNBA. Do I think she's going to end up as Rookie of the Year? Yeah, I do. Especially now that Angel Reese is out with an injury. So what's the bad? Had a good dinner for my birthday. Happy birthday, Arku. Glad you had a good birthday and a good dinner. Definitely, that you definitely deserve it. So, and looking forward to, many more birthdays for you to come. So, and glad that you had a good time with your cousin. It's always good when you have celebrate those special moments with your family. So, but again, congratulations and happy birthday to you. So, um, and but we were talking about Caitlin Clark. So, I do believe she's going to win Rookie of the Year. It's well deserved. You know, she's done a lot for this game this year for the WNBA, like we were talking about earlier, in terms of bringing eyes to the table, to the sport. So um, she continues to do anything, which is the other thing. She breaks the assist mark, so the rookie scoring mark, and now the assist mark. So it's a beautiful thing, man. In terms of just the player, it's a beautiful thing watching her game and watching her grow and watching her develop. What's up, Earl? Thanks for tapping in, bro. Really appreciate you, man. You keep doing your thing. Yeah, she leads the league in assists also. So you think about that. That's what's important about this rookie. Um, she's doing it with assists. Eventually, we anticipate, we hope as fans that she can go up there and be a scoring leader. But then you also have Angel Reese in terms of leading with rebounds. So these two young ladies are having a positive impact to the game of basketball. I appreciate it. I enjoy it. And hopefully you guys are also enjoying it as well. Because, like I said, these women are bringing something special to the WNBA, and it's just going to keep opening up and bringing more and more young ladies to the game. They're going to develop their craft. They're going to grow, and they're going to be key contributors to the WNBA. As it continues to grow, in the future, you're going to have expansion next year and go to Golden State, and the year after that to Toronto. So future spots, are down the road. Different places have been put on the table. So I expect it to continue to grow. So, and I'm excited about it. So, and hopefully, if you're a true basketball fan, just basketball, like I said, in general, you'll appreciate that. So, and the last thing, I talked about it last week. Commissioner Engelbert, with her situation, with her wording, she apologized to the players for her comments. It wasn't meant to be that way. So, but here we go. I was looking for the power rankings. That's what I was ultimately looking for, and I couldn't find it. But if I go based off of the standings, which I'm just going to do real quick, just so we can talk about this real quick, starting from the bottom to the top. LA is 12, Dallas is 11. I would probably say I would have Washington as 10, Chicago is 11. I'm sorry, wait a minute. 8, 9, 10. I have Washington as 10, Chicago is 9, and Atlanta as 8 in my power rankings. 7 and 6 are right there. Same thing here. So literally, the top 7 I wouldn't change. It's just the bottom spectrum. At 8, I would have Atlanta. 9, I have Chicago. And 10, I would have the Washington Mystics, in terms of my power ranking. So that's pretty much it in terms of that there. So, so let me know what you guys think. What are your power rankings? Where do you have it in terms of the WNBA? If you follow the WNBA, who do you have where? So I'd love to get your insight and your thoughts on the power rankings. So, but that's going to be it in terms of the WNBA. Pretty much finished there. Next thing I want to go into is the NCAA. There's a lot of things that is going on there, but the biggest thing I wanted to talk about is with Texas, the University of Texas. If you've been following college football, Texas has been one of the teams that several college football fans have been watching, especially after last year. Texas has, continued to improve. They left the Big 12, and now they are into the SEC. And one of the things I wanted to talk about comes from their game this weekend against University of Texas San Antonio. Their starting quarterback, Quinn Ewers, he actually went out due to an injury. He left in the second quarter. Said he left because of an oblique strain. And in came Arch Manning, grandson of Archie Manning, nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning. So they, I believe the new AP did come out today or yesterday, and I believe they are number one. Let me double check that for you, RQ, cool, just to be 100% accurate. I was going to be releasing mine tomorrow on Heart of the City, so I was trying to get it out yesterday, but I didn't have a wasn't having feeling well yesterday, so I couldn't get it out. So, but let me see in CBS Sports college football rankings. Yes, in the AP top 25, Texas is number one. In the coaches poll, they're number two. Um, So in both, they've actually moved up one spot. So um, in the AP, they overtook Georgia, and in the coaches poll, they overtook Ohio State. So, um, but yeah, I'm going to announce my coaches poll. I mean my top 25 tomorrow. So once I finish it up, like I said, I wasn't feeling well yesterday. Otherwise, would have had it done. But um, and would have been releasing it today. So, but it's just one extra day. So, but again, that's mine. But getting back to Texas, yeah, Arch Manning came in and he took over. He threw for 223 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he also ran for a touchdown. It was a 67-yard run for a touchdown. Definitely not Peyton and Eli Jeans there. More like his grandfather and Archie, who was a little bit more athletic than the other two. So, um, but the thing about it is, Art showed that why he was a 5-star recruit and why ultimately next year when um, Ewers leaves, the school is going to be in great hands. My Cardinals put the NFC on notice on Sunday. Marvin Sanderson Jr. looking like he got. Well, that's interesting, Champy. I mean, yes, and I'm going to get to talk to the NFL in just one moment, but yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. put on the show yesterday. There was never a doubt, though, in the long run. You knew that he was going to be able to perform. So, and he has a better opportunity, playing as a wide receiver than some of the other positions. So, but I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. But in terms of the college football world, I mean, Texas ascension, moving to the SEC. I think the move to the SEC has helped them immensely. If this was them in the Big 12, do I think they would be ranked this high? They might be in the top 10, but to be number one, I don't think they would be number one. So, sorry about that. It's being in the SEC has helped. SEC has helped them. Sometimes moving conferences. Uh, Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I was muted. It's going to help them in the long run. Sorry about that, Drew. I forgot I hit the mute for a second. Um, but it's going to help them in the long run. It's going to help them in recruiting. Also, kids are going to say, "Well, I want to go to Texas. I want to play in Texas." In terms of playing the top level talent, you're going to be competing in the long run. Schools. I mean, you're playing the Alabamas, you're playing the Georgias. I know Florida is not elite, but it is still talent there in Florida. The point being is you're the LSU's. You're playing the top talent consistently, and you have a fertile recruiting ground in terms of the Texas market, and then add in the NIL, man. Come on, let's be real. They're going to get their good share of money. You're in a state that has no state tax. Let's be real. You know, these are things that they're going to benefit from in the long run. And ladies and gentlemen, Texas is back. You know, the hook 'em horns ideology is going to be back, and could we see Texas possibly making a run and becoming the next Alabama? It is possible, man. It is really possible because the first things first, being in Texas, you have a big state to recruit from. And to be the University of Texas, to be a notable program, and now to be in position as the number one team in the country and to be competing on a national level for championships, you're going to get a high level of um, sponsors and boosters contributing to many facets of your program. They're just going to be there. And to me, it is going to be the Alabamas, the Georgias, and the Texas now, and a lot of the other schools within that conference. I don't want to say they're going to be fighting for second seed, but they're going to be fighting for, second tier. They're going to be fighting for that second tier. Those top teams are going to be consistently fighting for a championship. The others, you're going to have others who LSU from time to time will get in there, get into the top echelon, compete for a championship, but fall back down for a minute. All of them, that's the SEC. That's the power of the SEC. And this transition has been great for Texas to make that move. And it's the right time for them. So, and that's why you'll see where you'll have a Quinn Ewers, who eventually move on. And right behind him, you have Arch Manning, and you're going to continue to get, those second tier those top tier wide receivers coming into your program to help your program, help the Texas program sustain. So it's definitely a this is why I love college football. I'm sorry, I do. The intrigue, the competition, whatever it is. Look, I'm a Big Ten fan. I'm always rocked for the Big Ten, but my quote unquote disdain for the SEC is more as a competitive person. But do I sit back and watch those big games? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'm going to consistently do that. So, because they do play some good football, and they do develop some good talent there. So, and many true college football fans are going to do the same thing. So, they sit back and they watch it. Those schools, along with the Notre Dames, the Ohio States, the Michigans. Why? Because those schools are, that's where the prestige is. So, and that's where the names are. And adding USC to the Big Ten, helps the Big Ten there. And the Oregons, because now you're getting those big schools who are going to be sustaining because it's about the name. That's really what it boils down to. So next thing to touch on in terms of college football, tough one for Tyler Van Dyke. I mean, he transferred from Miami to Wisconsin for his last year, and he went down with a torn ACL. So where does that leave Wisconsin in the big picture? They still have an opportunity to, be a good team, but after the beatdown that they just took to the hands of Alabama, and losing your starting quarterback, it's going to be tough, man. I think they're out of the Big Ten race. That I will honestly say, I think they are out of the Big Ten race. It was going to be tough in the first place. If they had a beaten Alabama, it would have went a long way for helping elevate them in the Big Ten spectrum. But you lose to the Alabama and you lose handily, and then you turn around and you lose your starting quarterback. It's tough. That's tough. So we'll see how things go from there. in terms of Wisconsin, and especially at the end of the season. I think there'll be a bowl team. Will it be a top tier bowl? It might be a middle of the pack type of a bowl. Especially when you lose your second string quarterback. But I'm going to pay attention to them, especially as a Rutgers Scarlet Knight fan. We host them, so of course, I want my Scarlet Knight to beat them. But I want to see where they stand in the big picture. In terms of the Big Ten. Going forward. So, but who's your college team? Who do you guys like rooting for in terms of college football? And what has your team done? I mean, um, are you happy with your team? You know, what's going on? Let me know what's happening. So, but right now, before we continue on, I would just want to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to be back as soon as the commercials are done. So, here we go. First one.
Hop on the Hop on the A train, feel the vibe, Get out travels, we got sights, right? Dream destinations, come alive, Sporting events or the nightlife, tight. Brooklyn roots, we bring it back. Yo, vacation spots, don't pack light. Nah, concert stages, romance flicks. Yeah, we got your back. Hit the site, hey, travel plans, we keep it real. Pack your bags, it's the deal. Worldwide, we make it hot. Catch your flights, don't miss the clock. Tick, romantic getaways, top spots. Top sporting events, we never stop. Nah, concert vibes, feel the bass. Boom, exotic places, set the pace. Fast, vacation dreams within your grasp. Yo, hit us up, enjoy the blast. Yeah, plan your trip, buckle in. Get out, travels, let the fun begin.
All right. Thank you to Get Out Travels for always supporting me, supporting the Big Blue crew, man. I really appreciate you. You guys, if you're looking to, get out, get away, even to sporting events, even to the concerts, no matter where you want to go, check out Get Out Travels. They'll definitely take care of you and hook you up. So last thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to college football, deals with the defending national champions, Michigan Wolverines, and they're making a quarterback change. I mean, they've had issues with quarterback all season, and they're going to start Alec Orjiri against USC. He's a junior. He's going to replace Davis Warren, who was a walk-on. And this is going to be a big test for them, especially going up against number 11 USC. So this is both their Big Ten opener. So it's going to be big for USC. And for Michigan in terms of the big picture within the Big Ten itself and the national spectrum, because they can't end up with a second loss. They've already lost to Texas and had a difficult time against Arkansas State. So this is going to be another big test for Michigan going forward. So to sit back and let me pause this. There we go. But yeah, they've been having quarterback problems all year. So inconsistent quarterback play. So to make this change now, does leave you wondering. Warren, like I said, was a former walk-on, so he's had a long fight to get to his position, on the roster, and now you're making this change because of inconsistent quarterback play. So this is and you're playing USC. It's going to be a big test, like I said. How is he going to perform? How is he going to lead this program? Michigan right now is, I don't want to say they're reeling, but, they are in a sense reeling because they're dealing with some difficult times, especially after the investigations and everything, the loss of the level of talent that you lost. You lost your head coach from last year. It is definitely a tough time right now for Michigan. So definitely going to keep an eye out for this game. In terms of Big Ten perspectives, where does it leave? Each team. So USC wants to make a big name, a big splash coming into the Big Ten with your first Big Ten official conference game. So, and then you're going up against the Michigan Wolverines, the defending national champions at that. So, definitely going to be an important game, coming into this weekend, for a lot of football fans, especially within the Big Ten spectrum. USC has, risen to, I think they're number 11 right now in the AP. Let me double check with the AP. Oops, I had the rankings. In the AP rankings, yeah. USC is in number 11 in the AP, number 2 coaches poll, and Michigan is number 18 in the AP and number 17 in the coaches poll. So, yeah, this is a big matchup for both of the teams going forward. When you sit down and you look at it, 11 versus 18, in the AP, that's where most people go by. It's definitely going to, add intrigue, and because of where they stand within the Big Ten. So definitely going to keep an eye out for that. So going forward. So, but that's pretty much it in terms of the college football spectrum. 2 more items I want to talk about. And it's mighty ironic that Nimmer tapped in. Giants game was pretty bad yesterday. Was disappointed with the way the defense played. Swiss cheese yesterday. One, I didn't get to see the games, but everything that I'm reading and the highlights that I've seen, it was a pretty bad day. It definitely was in terms of, it wasn't as bad as last week's. Last week was a complete, utter destruction, disrespectful game. This game was bad, especially on the defensive side. When you sit down and you look at what you're expecting or was hoping for, especially with the anticipation with the Giants, was expecting a whole lot more out of this defense, especially with the pass rush. Definitely want to see the film to get a true breakdown of what it was, but it's definitely not a good look for the New York Football Giants. And I understand why many fans are feeling the way they're feeling. I mean, I can't lie. I definitely understand why the fans are feeling the way they're feeling, man, because in many people's eyes, the first 2 games they were key to the season. Most had the Giants winning the first 2 games before you start a what some say a brutal test of games, and to come out 0-2 to Minnesota. Minnesota might turn out to be a lot better than many of us thought. To Washington, and on top of that, you lose to Washington, who kicked 7 field goals. 7 field goals. You score 3 touchdowns and lose. That doesn't happen. You lose your field goal kicker on the first opening kickoff. It's not a good thing right now. And it leaves me wondering what the hell is going on with this coaching staff. His play calling was a little bit better, but our defense was definitely garbage. Again, like I said, I didn't see, from the stats, What's up, Wales? Thanks for tapping in, bro. Appreciate you. From the stats, in terms of this game, let me just take a quick look here. I think DJ, what he threw for 178 yards. So it was more, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 16-28. He was, yeah. You had, 95 yards rushing from Singletary, 129 yards total. Jaden Daniels, 23-29, 226 yards. You made a rookie look like he was all pro. And then you had Brian Robinson rush for 133 yards. They amassed 425 yards of total offense, while the Giants amassed 14, 31, 10, 304 yards. So you got outgained by over 100 yards. And I should have went there. 425 to 304. Where's the time of possession? 37.5 to 22.5 in terms of time of possession. It's not a good look, man. First of all, the defense, like Nimmer said, was Swiss cheese. That's telling me that is Swiss cheese. 425 yards? 425 yards. You've been having Washington's number for the past few years. So to lose and to score 3 touchdowns, they scored no touchdowns. You kept them out of the end zone, in the red zone. One of the things that, I at least counted on was thinking the run defense was going to be better. I've watched some of the techniques that they were teaching, even how you attack a trap, with, whether you attack it with your play side shoulder or you wrong arm it, one of the two, just to force it to spill. But again, like I said, I have to see the film defensively, but it sounds like they couldn't stop a youth football team. That's the way I'm feeling. And I know I'm being very harsh, but I'm being harsh on the coaches more than ever because I'm not pleased. I'm not with the coaches. Players are players. Fans are going to, whatever. I see some talent in some players, but the coaches, I put a higher stand. And this is becoming a outright disgusting, not even a joke. I keep using this word, disrespectful. This coaching staff is plainly disrespectful. They're disrespecting the coaching game, the coaching profession with what they're putting out there. What are you teaching? I can't even argue some people who've made the argument of, when Gano was hurt, you should have elevated McInerney, just as a backup. And then I come to find out you had 52 players available for the game, not 53, 52. So you had an open spot. What is this coaching staff doing? And now if you go and you look at the schedule, when people say they may not win the game until possibly the Panthers game, you know what? You're not going to get an argument from me. You are not going to get an argument from me. I'm sorry. I'm totally disgusted with this coaching staff and what they are doing. You now have you don't have a bottom tier offensive line. I'm not going to say it's the top of the line offensive line, but you know what? If you want to say it's right at the bottom of the middle of the pack, okay, fine. Slightly below average, okay, that's fine. You're just not trash anymore. Okay. You have okay. You don't have Saquon Barkley, but you still have a running game that can be serviceable. Okay, 18 targets to Malik Neighbors yesterday. Okay, 10 receptions. He's showing what he can do. You know, where were the other receivers? In Neighbors, if I'm not mistaken, Neighbors caught. Let me pull that back up. Box score. Neighbors had 127 yards. You had two other receivers who caught a pass: Darius Slayton and Wandale Robinson. They caught fifth day and Devin Singletary, one reception for no yards. But between Slayton and Robinson, 51 yards. Where are the other receivers? 18 targets to Malik Neighbors is crazy. What are the other receivers doing, man? Where's Hyatt? We talked about Hyatt. Where is he? Which goes to people who argue that Joe Shane has done a terrible job in terms of talent. No Wales, no tight ends caught a pass. None. Dable was brought in here to be an offensive guru and all this, a quarterback whisperer. From the first season till now, it's down and down. It leaves me saying that he's way in over his head. And then to catch attitudes with the media, you're in the New York market. You're in the New York market. Using the timeout. Okay. If you're in the New York market, you know what you're getting when you come into New York. You know what you're getting into. You know, yes, it's tough here. You have to have a better, and I'm sorry, okay, because every professional team has a public relations department, and they do prep you on what you need to do and be ready for when you go talk to the media. But this man just seems like he's unprepared to handle the media. He really does. And it's disgusting for me when you've at least seen guys, no matter what, and you may not like them as a coach, but at least they were professionals in handling the media. You know, some guys, okay, Joe Judge, you know, he was wet behind the ears, you know, but he wasn't giving you attitude. And you're in year 3. Like, really, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing with this coaching staff and management staff? Yeah, I'm not attacking the players. I'm not going to attack the players, you know, because to me, that's players come and go. You know, I get it. Fans, you know, you root for players. I hold coaches and management to a higher standard. That's where I look at things. And this, to me, is an atrocity. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If they were to fire Dable today, I'm not going to be all dejected or whatever. See ya. See ya wouldn't want to be you. Now, he's here. He needs to get it fixed. He needs to get it fixed. He's the head coach. So he needs to get it fixed. But yeah, I'm holding him to a higher standard than any players. I don't care about Daniel Jones, Malik Neighbors, Dexter Lawrence, Andrew Thomas. I'm not holding them to a higher standard than I am Dable. He's the face of the franchise. So that's what most people don't seem to accept, I guess is the word. They want to put it on DJ. I get it because he's the quarterback and he's getting $40 million, blah, 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 blah. It's the head coach because the head coach sets the culture. They set the foundation. They set everything for the organization. And when you go out there and you're catching attitude, you're on the sideline, you're slamming clipboards, and I get it, I've done it too, but not on a consistent basis. When you act in that manner, guess what? Players are going to act the same thing, the same way. What's the line from Remember the Titans? Attitude reflects leadership. Well, if the head coach does it, then the players can do it. Mommy, daddy. If mommy, daddy acts this way, then guess what the kids are going to do? Dable, you are the face of the future. Of this organization. You're the face of this organization, bro. And for you to act in this manner, yes, players are grown men. But guess what? You as the leader, when you act in this manner, they're going to act the same way. What's up, NYG, my brother? How are you, man? Feeling a little bit better today. So, but right now, my wrath is towards Dable. It is. I know some people have it on Shane a little bit more because he's his boss. Okay, that's your choice. And I respect it, and you have every right to do that. For me, as a coach, it's always going to be the coach. It's always going to be the head coach. He's the face of the organization more than anyone. You argue with Daniel Jones. What's up, halftime? Thanks for tapping in, bro. Appreciate you, man. Good luck tonight, man. With you and your Eagles. You know what? No, take that back. No, y'all need to crash and burn tonight. Y'all need to crash and burn, bro. I'm sorry. Y'all need to crash and burn. You love my rant. Okay. But seriously, man. Dable is the problem right now. He's the problem, man. I don't even see high school coaches who act in the manner that he does. I don't see youth football coaches. I don't see college coaches. Debo Samuels was out multiple weeks with a calf strain. Okay. Brian Dable is the problem for the New York Football Giants right now. That first game, and you're the play caller. You are the play caller. No. I want it to stay in his hands now. There is no giving it back. Screw all that, man. Because if I'm Kafka, I'm like, nah, bro. You made your bed. You lay in it. If I'm Mara, no, Brian Dable, you made your bed. You lie in it. No excuses. No. No. You keep that. All right. There's a saying, you give them enough rope to hang themselves. You let him hang himself even more. Nah, don't play. If I'm Kafka, no, man, He's trying to be a head coach too. No, screw all that. He can do all the other stuff behind the scene, develop the game plans, head up meetings, all that other stuff. That'll just help him. But nah, you leave it in Dable's hands. You wanted it. You want to be the big boy. You want to be the big baller, the shot caller. Guess what? You got it, bro. You got it. And guess what? Bang, bang. You're going to be out the door soon. You're going to be out the door soon, bro. Because this, and I tried to be very understanding, be very positive. But like I said, and every fans want to put it on DJ, and I get it. I understand that's your opinion, and you're right to you have a right to your opinion. But I'm gonna always put it on coaches before I'm going to put anything on players. Now on the field, their execution, I can criticize players for that. But all the play calling and everything else, no. The game plans, the game designing, do you allow your quarterback to create audibles? What type of checks do you put into the plays so that they can check to that? See, that's not players. Like fans always say, oh, well, why are they checking to this or why are they checking to that? Well, that's what your coaches put in. Like too many fans put everything on players, but you fail to realize that it's the coaches that put the players in the position to be successful. Execution, kill the players. But what's the game plan? 3rd and 7 in the minus territories with 2 minutes left in the game, and you're down 4. What are you allowing these players to do? What type of adjustments are you allowing the players to call if you see that the defense is lined up to take away what you already called? Do you have something to check in so that these players can get out of that damn play? Because if not, what do you expect the players to do? It's on the head coach. It's on the head coach. Sorry. And anybody else who wants to, it's always the players, it's always the players. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm going to tell you you're wrong. This is coming from a coach. My players can only do what I tell them to do, because if they go out there and they change things and I don't give them an autonomy, you know what where they end up? Sitting right on the bench next to me. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care who you are. I wouldn't care if it was Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes can't do damn diddly without Andy Reid's permission. Think about that. The face of this organization, the leader of this organization is Brian Dable. Everybody thinks it's Joe Shane. No, it's Brian Dable. This collaborative, whatever, Shane will get him the tools, but he talks to Dable. He's not going to get him something without Dable's agreement. So, what's up, Man Cave? Thanks for tapping in. Yeah, thank you, man. I was trying to get him out of there, too. I appreciate you with that, man. But that's what it is with the New York Football Giants, man. Trying not to get too riled up. I mean, I got a game to call tonight because I am calling the Monday Night Football game. So I'll be back on with that in a few minutes. I agree with that point. Brian Dable, he fought Wink Martindale, fired him, hired one of his worst. Look, I'm trying to give Bowen the opportunity. I get the bend, but don't break type of a defense. On the flip side, for everything that the Washington was able to do getting up and down the field, pardon me, they didn't score touchdowns. They were held to field goals. Now, 7 field goals, that's a lot. But if you hold them to 7 field goals, you should be winning that game. You scored 3 touchdowns, because think about it. 7 field goals, they had how many points? But if you score 3 touchdowns and your 3 extra points, that's 21 points. You win the game. You win the game. So, coach, I think everyone should have a sport, even just once. Yeah, no, I have to coach the sport once. Hey, you are so right, Blaze. They should coach a sport once to really understand, how quick it is sometimes. Youth football is a little bit slower, but yeah. And hey, to be honest with you, Alex, man, not going to cry. I'm not going to cry if that happens, bro. Not, seriously. If they fire Dable right now, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Not calling for his firing, so please don't think that's what I'm saying, but I'm not going to be upset if he gets fired right now. I'm not going to be up in arms. Oh, why did they do that? Why couldn't they wait? Man, screw all that, man. Split the 3 fingers, man. That's what I say. And if you don't understand what I mean, take your 3 fingers, right in the middle of your hand, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. But nah, I'm always put everything. They can talk the collaboration, and you can sit here and everybody talks about Hard Knocks, whatever the case may be. It's about Dable, bro. That's what some of y'all don't understand. Some of y'all really don't understand. Dable can sit here and say, "This is what I want. These are the players that I need." Shane, go out there and get them for me. And then to act the way you do with the media, you catch an attitude because they're asking questions. I know your PR department preps you. Are you stupid? Are you really that stupid? No, bro. Your PR department preps you. They try to get you, don't fall for the bait. Don't fall for it. Be politically correct. Even if you got to go to a point of no comment right now. He's running out of skateboards. Yeah. Nimmer, I'm going to say this. I mean, I get it. I understand, you may want to give them, but you know what? They came in the door together. I can understand Alex's point. They're both gone. They came in together, get them both out. But if you did keep him, okay, fine. Dable, hold him even further up, especially again. Got to make a stop, especially against Washington. If we can't stop him, then we can't stop time. That's fair. That's a fair argument. The only thing is, I'm going to say again, the red zone, they stopped them from scoring touchdowns. Usually, if a team is kicking nothing but field goals and you're scoring touchdowns, usually you win. The problem was we didn't have the field goal kicker. Because if you had your field goal kicker and you kick, even now towards the end of the game, if you had a kicker to kick that field goal, we're possibly not having this discussion. Think about that. The Giants at least scored touchdowns. They did. And Washington didn't. So, in fairness there, red zone, we stopped them from scoring touchdowns. Now, Washington didn't punt all day. So going to that argument about the defense, bro, come on, man. They didn't punt not once. Not once. You get one stop and force them to punt. We're not having this conversation. We're not. No, I'm with you, man, Cave. I mean, that's everything that I'm hearing. Unfortunately, I didn't see it. But everything that I heard, read, not one punt. They're moving up and down the field. Daniels has only 6 incomplete passes. Robinson runs for 130 some odd yards rushing. Come on, bro. The hell. But, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm covering the Monday night game. My pregame is in 6 minutes. So, about ready to get out of here so I can get over to there. Let's get over to there and continue on. Thank you to, everyone who's supporting me in this venture. Shout out to the Hardcore Sports Network, the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, all my sponsors, Jersey Bearcats today, Get Out Travels. Make sure you guys, like I said with the commercial, get out there, check them out. Stitch for Trinity, League of All Leagues, Jersey Bearcats, everyone, man. All of you guys, Man Cave, Nimar, NYG, Blaze, Pat, Halftime, Wales, Andrew, Champy, Arku, Gregor, Daniel Berry, Deception. Thank you all for tapping in the chat. I really appreciate you guys. It means a lot to me that you guys would interact with me and have some great conversation. We can continue on over when I get over and start over for the Monday night game coverage. So with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here and get over to the Monday night game. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Peace.
Yo, it's Coach Ed. Got the insights, no boats. From the rookies in the youth leagues to the seasoned pros, ladies ballin', fellas fighting all around the globe. Breaking it down, dynamic. You know, tune in, listen up. Don't wanna miss the flow. It's Coach Ed's Read and Attack the Sports Show. From the courts to the fields, he's got the stats. Dropping knowledge is where the real fans at. So stand up, get ready for the play. Wave your arms in the air, let's hear you say play. Coach Ed, our mentor on the mic. Breaking down the game, every highlight. Analyzing plays, court the turfs the like. Youth leagues, college dreams, pro spotlight. Tackling the flats, defense or attack. He's got the vision, shows you where it's at. We grab the scoop, no stone left unturned. In Coach Ed's realm, the knowledge earned.